I'm not even gonna say everybody deserves a second chance. Forget that. I think that's played out. That's cliche. Forget that. Everybody deserves a chance for growth. And the only way that we are going to grow and become better is to learn by our mistakes. And if you're not out there living, if you're not out there making mistakes, giving yourself the opportunity to grow, then you're stagnant. What's up? I am Omega, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. And of course, as always, I'm here with my man, my co-host, Mr. John D.
What's up, though?
Good.
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. It's just another day.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's the weekend.
It's a beautiful day.
Ah, man.
It's game day.
It's been the Hawks play tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
2 in the morning.
Hopefully we go 2-1 on this.
You know, I'm very surprised.
This is airing. No, this is gonna be this is crazy because this is airing. This is gonna air this weekend.
What is?
No, this is next weekend. This is gonna air. This episode.
Yeah.
So me talking about the Hawks, they'll probably be either advanced or they out of the series by the time this airs. So
I got you.
It's whatever. Congratulations, Hawks, if you won, and better luck next year if you lost. All right,
Inshallah.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
I forgot that. Cool.
Oh man, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just saying. Oh yeah, their performances. They're playing really well.
Yeah, they're having fun.
You know, and I would have never thought they were that good. I didn't watch them as much.
Right.
But to watch them, I was like, man, they're better than, even when they lost, I was like, wow, they're really good.
Yeah, man. Like they've
grown up.
I'm impressed. I just feel like we've always missed something.
Oh, I know.
The Hawks have.
Oh, I know.
Look, but I'm just saying, it's like turning the key on the ignition. You know what I mean? And it's just like we've always missed a superstar. We haven't had a superstar since Dominique Wilkins. I can't think of anyone. Okay, maybe Joe Smith or Joe Johnson. Sorry. I was confused with Josh Smith.
He's not a superstar though.
But I'm just saying, that's as close as we've gotten since Dominique Wilkins.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, but when he came there, he wasn't.
Yeah, Dwight Howard.
He wasn't Orlando Dwight Howard.
Yeah,
he was
the Lakers Dwight Howard.
He was more like
first when he was with the Kobe, when he was kind of like.
He was more like a JaVale McGee.
No, he wasn't ever. That's so disrespectful. And you know what? JaVale McGee is really good, but Dwight Howard was just on a different level. And for him for you to say JaVale McGee, you just brought him all the way down.
His performance in Atlanta. I'm not talking about his performance when he went to LA and promised that he was going to do his best and for the second time. And they did what they did with him there. I'm not talking about that Dwight Howard. I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks Dwight Howard.
I got you. I know.
You would have thought going home, because that's home for him.
Oh, I know.
You would have thought going home, he would have showed his ass.
You know what? It could go one or two ways. He shows his ass or he doesn't. Because there's a lot of distractions in Atlanta. Yeah. And you telling me you don't have to navigate because you already know how?
Isn't that when he had his scandal about him being with a cross-dresser? Yeah. Wasn't that when that was the whole? I'm just saying, like, that was.
I know. You know what?
It could have messed with his head. You know.
It could have.
I mean,
do you think it was true?
I don't care. Look, man.
Well, you brought it up, so I was.
No. But I'm just saying. But like, even whether it's true or not, or whether somebody think it's wrong or it's right, whatever. Love who you love, be who you want to be with. That's how I feel. But I'm just saying the fact that it was in the media. Maybe that played a part in,
without a doubt,
him trying to get his head right, him trying to get a fresh start, him going back. I think it was while he was in Atlanta. Now I got to check to be sure, but I think it was while he was in Atlanta because I think people were making jokes because how they say
with Atlanta.
So that kind of. But it is what it is. So, but listen, it is June 19th, the airing of this episode, and for those of y'all out there who don't know, happy Juneteenth.
For sure.
Bruh, we're going to go into it, but I had somebody, I want to tell you, I had somebody ask me before. I remember I was in Japan, and I was talking about Oktoberfest, because in Japan we used to have Oktoberfest.
Oh, really?
I used to perform there, right? And I was talking to somebody, definitely not gonna give his name, but it was a brother. And I was like, yeah, I performed at Oktoberfest last week and this, whatever. He's like, oh, that's cool, like this and this, whatever. I said, yeah. I think I'm gonna do. We're gonna try to do something for Juneteenth as well. Like we had a car club, right? I said, I think we're gonna try to do something for Juneteenth as well. Get like some of the local artists and this and this. And I forget his exact words, but he was like, oh, he's like, that's like, he was like, something like that's like Oktoberfest again, or something. He was referencing it to Oktoberfest, right? Mm. My point in telling you this is like this brother didn't know what
year
Juneteenth was. It had to be maybe 2001, 2002.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Look, like look. Yeah. I didn't learn about it till like 11 or 12.
It's okay, but he thought it was something else. It's a difference in I don't know what that is versus I'm thinking it's Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that's two different,
completely different, right? So for those of y'all who don't know, Juneteenth, it's basically the holiday to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States of America. Yeah. So it is what it is. So we I think nowadays with Black Lives Matter and everything that's been happening in the U.S., it's something that's, I'm not going to say more recognized, but it's definitely something that people are more aware of.
It's becoming more popular for sure.
Right. Why do you think?
Well, social media. I know before why it wasn't popular, because the media controls what we see. Right. So now everybody has a hold on some type of media outlet. Like, so if you're famous and you talk about Juneteenth, it just exposes people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Black people are becoming more responsible in recognizing something that's tied to them versus like the 4th of July, right. These Columbus Day, stuff.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Christmas. Man, not even going. So, but just put some facts out there for everybody. The Emancipation Proclamation that was signed on January 1st of 1863, and we all know that the Civil War ended on the 9th of April in 1865. Now, that was supposed to be, we won, yeah, and now we're free, or at least this is what's supposed to happen.
Supposed to.
Right. But it didn't happen until 2 months later. Right. And so then that's what brought it into the 19th of June, 1865. And that's why on today, the 19th of June, this is why we celebrate Juneteenth. But what some people don't know and or forget is that that's not necessarily when all the slaves were freed.
Correct.
Because if we think about it, right, this is happening on the East Coast, and this was the 1800s. So it took time for information to travel, so they say.
Well, I think they were using the tin cans with the string.
I thought you was about to say something profound. I was like, let me lock up. Let me let him get it in. So, but the thing is, it didn't happen until 2 years later, right? So going westward, you've got Galveston, Texas, which, from my understanding, was like one of the largest ports. And if there was a port that was bigger, it must have been like Louisiana or, whatever there in the Gulf. So, but it took 2 years. I mean, it depends on who you ask. It depends on where you read. Depends on what you watch. But people will say things like, they knew, and they were just trying to get that last sharecrop out and get that last use of.
What would you've done?
What would I've done as in what?
If you was white.
Look, man, that's not a fair question.
It is, because people don't understand. Mm-hmm. You only do and know what you know. So if you're put in that position and somebody said, nah, you can't get money like this no more.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, regardless of the color of my skin.
Well, no, you are now with the information you have. But if you was white then,
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
And not then. I'm talking about then.
That was the law.
No, I'm saying then if you white, they had different sets of laws wherever, you know what I'm saying? Right. And what brought the country together, well, it separated the country. That was one of the reasons why the country separated, because you're telling a group of white people that you can't make money like this anymore.
Right.
Like, that's not going to be like, you know what? No, you guys are right.
I get it. Yeah. I'm just saying, but Nan and a boo boo, you lost. Like, I mean, what do you want me to say? You know what
Oh,
I mean?
no. Look,
like,
I'm just saying, like,
law.
yeah, well, we know that they make the laws and they break them and find ways around them.
Right.
And
then,
else.
and if that's the way to look at it, then it's like, they talk about everybody else for going to break the laws, and they're like, oh, you got people that say things like, oh, well, he should have been beaten, or he shouldn't have moved, and he wouldn't have got shot, or whatever. Well, you should have followed the laws too. I mean, you know, we're talking, but I'm just saying, you know, we being facetious, but like I don't know what I would have done. I mean, well,
I'm telling you that originally before I moved here, I said if I was to come back, I would want to be a white man, just because. Now this is when I was younger. But then when I got here, I said I wanted to come back and be an Emirati because they don't work for they just got everything handed to them.
Wow.
For real. Like I'm saying.
There are Emiratis that are.
No. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying like if you're an Emirati, you get a certain level of privilege as far as what is it? Welfare. Like you know, like they get the housing allowances. They get an
okay, but this is different. Like, for example, I do have a good friend here who's Emirati, and I know that shout out Mubarak, but I know that it's different things. Like he's in the process of building a home, right? He's getting married, he's building a home. There's an interest-free loan that's given to him for X amount of years or whatever.
That must have just happened then, because the guy that I talked to, he said that every Emirati born citizen or whatnot from whatever, they get an allowance. Whatever you want over it, you can get the loan. But he said that every one of them gets it. And
well, I'm talking because you said they get free homes. Wait,
I said an allowance for homes.
Right. Okay, but this is something separate though. This is because he's military, but this is something where it's like he's getting a loan for a home. Right, from the government. He's getting a plot of land, right? And that money's going towards that, and it's supposed to be interest-free for X amount of time, and then start the payback or whatever. I actually need to hit him up. I think his house is done, and my room should be ready.
I'm pretty sure he got a lot of them.
But yeah,
but they even got grocery stores that they can go to, where it's discounted.
Oh, really? I mean, I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to come back as an. That's why I said I would come back as an.
I envy that. I mean,
yes, they take care of their people.
I was just gonna say that I wish America took
care of its people,
but America doesn't even recognize some of us as people of America, and then they forget they own. Yo, that's what's really great. I was having this conversation with somebody today, right? And I forget what we were talking about. Oh, I think we were talking about color, because I was like, oh, I'm just a black man from America. He was like, but you're not black. And it goes off to our
South
previous
Africa,
episode, the whole colorism thing, right? But he was like, but you're not black. You're more of like a pecan caramel. I'm like, don't you ever refer to me as pecan again. But he's like,
butter pecan Rican.
Like, but he's like, but you're not black. And I was like, no. I know what you're going to say. I was like, no, you got to remember in America, when we say black, that's just usually referring to the race, the African American. I was like, so you can be any shade, but you're still considered black. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it. Right.
Where was he from?
Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's my guy. That's my guy. We have good conversations here and there. So what was I about to say, man? Dang, I done lost my doggone train of thought. It was about oh my God, I forgot what I was gonna say.
When I told you I was gonna be an Emirati, and then
So, but talking about like because you said I was making a joke, but it's not really a joke because it's the harsh reality. But I was just like, yeah, because they've like taken away from us. Like they don't act like we are part of America.
Yeah.
But they took away the ability for us to know where we came from. Brought slaves over, wouldn't let them read, wouldn't let them write, took away their African traditions and beliefs and practices, and forced the Christianity one on them. Got a lot of people thinking that that's what black people started out believing, and it's like, nah, you really might want to read a couple other books. So, but this is, and it's like, I'm not even going to say it was whitewashed, but they definitely went through and took away some of the history, if not all, or made it very difficult for the African heritage that was stolen and brought over to like maintain and carry everything forward through the generations and through the families. But at the same time, they did it to themselves. Because if you see someone right from, and if maybe they've got roots in Germany or roots in Sweden or
Ireland,
roots in Spain, they just say they white from America, and it's like,
but now you see
your last name is McBride. Like,
You're right. But now that
O'Malley.
Now though they are trying to acknowledge that now.
Everybody's trying to acknowledge it now because it's cool. It's trending on Twitter.
Well,
that's why they're trying to acknowledge it.
If you, Irish and Italians were the poor white people at the time.
Forget about it.
They were the poor white people, and if you can just be white and you're not gonna judge me because I'm Italian in Ireland, I'm gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that like black people in America are no different from these Irish, all these other people.
Yeah.
And they just won't. That's what I'm saying. Even the belief systems that they took from us created a new belief system for people in other countries in America to say this is what it is.
Yes. You're 100% right, man. And and it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe there's somebody out there that's listening or watching. And if you are, thank you. We appreciate you. But I don't ever, well, I'm not going to say ever, but I want to talk about race sporadically because I feel like it's something that people don't touch on and it affects us in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Right? We had a conversation a little while ago, but it's like if you have a child and let's say that child's parents were not in their life, that child is probably always going to feel like there's something missing, right? Mm-hmm. There are things that are substituting. So say, for example, you have someone who is adopted from birth. The mother and the father, biological mother and father, are not in that child's life. Mm-hmm. They grew up in a loving family. They were adopted. They had maybe a brother and sister, maybe both, whatever. But when they got older, they learned that they were adopted, right? When they learn this fact, then it's kind of like there's a small hole that's missing. And what I would want people to understand is we're talking about, I'm not good at public math, but about 402 years of a whole bunch of holes being missing from our culture, from our history, right? An example of the adopted child, okay, this is one generation. Maybe you can find your family. Maybe you can talk to them. Maybe you can learn stories about your grandmother and your grandfather and their siblings and their aunts and whatever. And you get a little bit of information about where you're from, right? And you have a more whole feeling about who you are. Yeah. Black people in America don't have that.
We'll always have hoes.
We don't have that. And why don't we have that? Because it was ripped from us. So it's like, it's always going against the grain, trying to figure out who you are, trying to learn where you came from, not having all the information or all the tools or all the resources to do it. And then on top of that, living your regular life, you're being constantly reminded that you're black or talked to as you're not good enough or you don't belong here or this isn't for you, or whatever it is. And it's just like, they're dealing with so much. So when we talk about Juneteenth, celebrate it. It sucks that it came late, but it did come.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So Juneteenth is the 19th of June every year. Barbecue, this is where our ancestors were made free, and it was recognized as it got to the great state of Texas. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to sound.
Yeah, like the great state of Texas.
Did that sound,
deep in the heart of Texas.
So,
hey, but you know what you said. This is what I want people to know. All the American black people who watching this, like we are really superheroes. Definitely. If you think about the stories that we've told on how we came here, how many people died, that means that somebody in your family stayed alive. So think about everybody who went through slavery. Somebody in your family made it through. Like you're building this immune system to be able to tolerate anything. So then you go through that Jim Crow, civil rights, and even like we're cut from this cloth that nobody in the world understands. Right. Like it's still going on. So just imagine like 4 generations from now what African-American kids are going to look like.
We are, and I like that you say superhero, and I know you're not saying it in a glorified way, like we're Superman, X-Men, DC.
No, I do. No, I mean that, but not in that.
But what I mean is, how I'm gonna say this, like what some people don't realize is that trauma is passed through DNA.
Definitely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like COVID-19, right? When COVID came, so you got this virus and we all know what COVID-19 did to the world, right? But then you're starting to hear India's got its own strand and the UK's got its own strand. Brazil's got its own strand. South Africa's got its own strand, right? Because the thing mutated.
Mm-hmm.
Black people been mutating for 400 years. Hear my words, mutating, mutate, mutant, X-Men. We are superheroes.
All day.
We've been mutating for 400 years.
Still doing
We've
it.
been dealing with the oppression. The DNA has been passed down. It has it locked in. And we're still, like you said, we're still pushing through. We're still surviving. We are superheroes.
Yeah.
We are. So take this day, recognize it, understand it. If this is the first time that you've ever heard about it, congratulations.
Yeah, welcome. Look, you're never too late to the party. Just start celebrating now.
Yeah, now you know. So, but like I said, yes, we have when the Civil War ended, but the whole point behind this is understanding that that's not when slavery actually ended. Okay, so we're talking June 19th, 1865, and that was the true recognition of the liberation. But I will say this: there's another piece to that. The slaves were not actually freed until December of that year.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like
yes.
What happened?
Because some of the Union states still had slaves, right? And so, if I'm not mistaken, like one of the way they tell the stories is like some of the people in the South, right, when it was realized that the war was lost or they were losing or however the news was passed back then, right? They started sending slaves to the West. Like, hey, hold on to this for me, dog.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So that was another reason why I say they knew in Galveston. They knew because that port was not only bringing in rice and beans and grain. You know what I'm saying? It was bringing over property, people property.
Real property.
19th of June, 1865 is Juneteenth. Please go out and celebrate. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, right? Diverse clarity. So, but let me ask you this. So when it comes to this, and obviously none of the people from 1865 are around now, right? But this is a part where I feel bad for white people, right? And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I feel bad because I feel like white people do get a bad rap just because they're white. Yeah. And it's almost like a guilty by association, right? Because they're right. They had nothing to do with that. Now, they could have benefited from it because of
they definitely benefited from
old money and having property and things actually being passed down.
They still benefit from it.
Right. So, but with that, what do we expect them to do? Right? Like I don't know. But when you have a person that maybe they still buy into that, and we do have some of those people. Yeah. Right? Like, if they carry over this label of a racist or whatever the case is, like, what actually defines that? Like, and I want to talk about some of the things where it's like, if you are associated with something or you do something, are you going to be labeled that forever? Yeah. Right? We spoke in one episode, we talked about like a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. And we said, he left and he, did a reform and his life went a completely different direction. I even saw one where there was a guy from the Ku Klux Klan. He left, married a black woman, right? And started living a whole new life. So I want to ask you, like, is there an absolute when it comes to like the action of a person and then how we look at them moving forward in the future? So if there's somebody who is a person that has done racist things, let's say they're part of the KKK, right? And then they go through a reform and they turn into a new person, will they always be considered a racist?
In the eyes of a lot of people of color, of course, because I think that we in our mind feel like it's a trick. Okay, they're gonna catch us slipping. Like, so he's like, now once you're a racist, you always a racist. But that doesn't even make sense because once you get new information, you're supposed to adjust to the information and become better, right? And
so you're saying yes.
No, I'm saying amongst black people, if they don't, like, it took me a long time to understand that. Like, I think when we was talking about the Ku Klux Klan person and was like, now he's no longer racist. And then people was like, oh, whatever. I know he's, and I'm like, well, if he knows more information and he sees that that's wrong, what can he do to detach the racist title away from it? And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, and I think that we need to, this one of those conversations. Like, we're so skeptical of white people, we don't believe what they say. So if they say, look, man, I was like that before. I was brought up in this environment, but I didn't know black people, or, I didn't understand. But now, I understand that my perspective was taught. And even though it's taught, when we look as black, well, I don't want to represent the entire black, but when I used to look at white people that said they're no longer racist, I didn't believe it, because it was like, you can't just lose that. But you can lose it.
I believe you can.
Yeah.
I believe you can. I believe it's something, like you said, it's the environment that you grew up in. And if you don't know something, or you're only taught one thing, or only taught one way, and you don't know anything else, you know what I'm saying?
And that's why we're programmed, I believe.
I mean, I'm not gonna say we're programmed, because we are all subject to this, but it may not. It's just not on a level of racism all the time. For example, right? Like me being a kid, and maybe you as well, I was always taught, say, yes, ma'am. Yes. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Please. Thank you. When I go to other countries and I say, yes, sir, they're like, oh, no, don't call me that. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I've been told for 18 years I'm supposed to say yes, sir, and no, sir. Mm-hmm. And they're like, nah, don't call me that. That's not whatever. This is like I'm old. That's my father. That's my mother. Don't call me this or whatever. And it's like, but I've been taught that. And my point is, saying yes, sir, and no, ma'am isn't a racist thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's what I was taught. Yeah. It's what I know. And the moment that somebody introduces something new to me that's completely different for the first time, it's like, well, wait a minute. Now I got to digest this. So it's racist to be the way that the KKK is. But all I'm saying is, if somebody has always been taught that and they don't know anything else, the moment that they're introduced to something different, I think we owe it to them as a human being to like recalibrate. Yeah, definitely. Because we do it with everything else, but it just doesn't get the attention because it's on the level of yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yeah. You know what I mean? And nobody's really focused on that. They just like, oh, he's from the South. Yeah. Oh, he's ex-military or whatever the case. Right. So I don't know.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, so
which part?
The yes, sir, no, ma'am, please, and thank you. Like, in the order of the form of respect in the United States.
Well, from my understanding, it came from the slave world.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah.
Came from the slave world.
So like,
and it's definitely something in the South, because if you go up north, I'm sorry, but you go up north, a lot of people don't talk like that.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying?
It is a different lingo.
It's that Bible Belt, that Southeast. That's where you hear it at, and that's because that was the way up. In fact, just speaking on a lighter note, when you hear somebody from the South in the U.S. talk, it's something that I noticed over the years as I moved around the world. But somebody from the South more closely relates to the way a British person speaks than anyone else in the United States.
Really?
Yes. Because, for example, like British people use words like reckon, yonder. Well, where did those people come from? Where did they move to? Yeah. What way did they speak?
Why are you writing them up?
What way did they speak? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of those terms that are used were used in the Southeast. Yeah. So if a British person were to go to the US and talk to somebody from the South, have a nice conversation, I guarantee you in that conversation, we're going to use similar words. Yeah. We're going to sound different because of that Southern twang.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Versus a posh whatever, but they are similar. Think about it. Yeah. It's this way. So
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. So is that it? Like, so absolute acts and permanent labels. So what if somebody is a murderer? What about this? This absolute act, you've killed somebody. Does this make you a murderer for the rest of your life?
I think when I think of murderer, it's so many ways anybody can be a murderer. You can accidentally kill somebody and you're a murderer, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess it just depends on how the story is told. And how many people did you kill? What was your response afterward?
Why does the number matter on how many people that you kill?
Because if you do it over and over, I mean, you're creating this type of person.
Okay, wait, hang on. I want to attack that. So you're looking at it from the view of I'm an individual, and in a 10-year span, I've killed 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at it like this. I'm a husband, and I'm in the house with my wife and my kids, and 3 people break in because they want to rob me. I killed 3 people in a span of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I've killed 3 people. This is just an example. Like, hey. So in this example,
y'all want to see a dead body?
Yo, boys. So in this example, I've killed 3 people in a span of 3 minutes because they broke into my home.
Yeah.
But another person has murdered 3 people over a span of 10 years for various reasons.
Yeah.
Are we the same?
No.
But you said it. But you see what I'm saying? Like
that's what I said. If you do it over a period of time, you're creating a behavior.
Okay, well,
you killing 3 people in a 3 minutes.
Let's say I live in a bad neighborhood, and over the last 7 years, people have broken into my home, and I live somewhere like I don't know, Florida, and
you gonna stand your ground?
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? So I live somewhere like Florida, and my neighborhood isn't that great. And people constantly want to try me.
Well, I'll tell you this, that with that hypothetical right there, after the first person you kill, nobody else is going back to your house. They gonna like, he ain't playing.
You do realize the example was Florida, right?
What do you mean?
They crazy down there.
No, I know. No, I'm saying like if you rob somebody's house,
right.
Like if you're I would like to think that. I guess I'm just
Florida.
No, I'm just saying if you come in my house, right, and I kill you, it's gonna be on the news to some degree. I don't see somebody else coming back to try to rob my house because it's like that's the man that kills. Like he ain't playing them games.
Yeah.
But
spoken like somebody that live in a state that got some sense. Florida.
I'm just saying, like, if you come up in my house, you deserve to die if you come in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
So you're a murderer then. That's premeditated.
I would be. No, it's not premeditated until you come into my house. I will kill. Like, I don't have any intent on killing anybody, but if you come in my house and I fear for my life, then if that's premeditated, of course.
So what makes you different from somebody else that's killed somebody over a 10-year span?
No, well, I'm telling you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you.
No,
I want to bring clarity to it, right?
So. Yeah. So I'm just saying that if I kill 3 people in somebody breaking my house, I killed 3 people. I am a murderer, but I wouldn't want to be called that because that was self-defense or whatever.
Right.
You know, that's why I said it depends on how the story's told.
Right.
And to say, when people say, "Oh, that dude's a murderer," in my head, when I think of that, I'm like, he didn't kill somebody and he'll do it again. Like, it wasn't like self-defense type thing. Right. Like, because I know somebody who killed somebody and had to do time. Right. And it was second-degree manslaughter. He had to do some time.
I was just about to ask you that. What if we're not in a Florida type state and it's not allowed and you do kill somebody? Because there are people who have broken into people's homes, fell down while trying to run away, and now they can sue the homeowner.
I know.
What kind of mess is this? America, wake up. God, are you serious? So, but you see what I'm saying? So I knew you was going to go that route. I could tell. God. I could tell it was coming. So, but what I'm saying is now you're in a state where that's not allowed. You can't stand your ground. Yeah. You're protecting your family, and now you kill people because you're protecting your family. In that state, and you just said it, somebody had to go to jail. Yeah. You're a murderer. But why is it this way? Because I agree with you. If I'm protecting my family, look, don't try me. Don't try me. All right? Don't. But this is what I'm saying, bro. So like, if you in a place where you can't do that, and that's what you do, then what?
You know, that's a tough situation, like, to say the least.
And it sucks that a geographical border is going to define whether you go to jail or not for protecting the people that you love and care about, because somebody had the audacity to come up in your home. Yeah. You see what I mean?
That's why I don't want to go too far from it, but what changed in the United States was when they separated church from state. They made man bigger than God. It was like, no matter what they say, they can go to this fair trial. And like, it's like, if I shoot you right now, right? And it's on tape and I go to trial and they messed up the evidence, I can get off.
Right.
Like, they made man bigger than God. Like, come on, man. You see me on tape and you gonna let me get off because the defense made, like, they messed up some evidence?
Illegality.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So the idea of being a murderer, it just depends on who's telling the story, man. Because, you know, like, you just, you know, hearing rap music, it was like, oh, I know some murderers. Like, you know that they'll get down like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of murderers like that, I don't think of somebody defending themselves, but depending on who tells that story can portray them as if they one of the murderers on the streets that they'll kill you. Like, it's crazy.
All right. Well, what about somebody who is a cheater? And when I say that, I know maybe minds automatically go to relationships and whatnot, but not necessarily that, right? Somebody who's a cheater, maybe, all right, let's go lightweight with it real quick. Maybe a child that cheats on the test in school, or a young adult that cheats on an exam in college, right? Should they always be considered a cheater? Should they always have that label as a cheater?
I think you can only get that label then if people know that you did it.
Well, obviously, if we're calling them a cheater, then this means that they've been found out. Right?
No, I mean, I could be a cheater and nobody knows it.
Oh.
You know, so.
Okay, but but in this, we're looking at it like it's a known thing.
What type of activities are occurring? Like, if I cheated on a test, like, nobody's going to call me a cheater. They'll make fun of me, you're a cheater. But if I continuously do it, and then it reflects in other things.
Well, if you do it in college, you're gonna lose out on that course for that semester.
Or if you get caught.
Yeah, but we're only talking. Look, if you cheat and you don't get caught, you were just living life. Nobody is none the wiser. You get what I'm saying? So if you cheat and you don't get caught, then nothing ever happened.
Well, not necessarily, because
no,
I can tell you. I could tell you that I'm cheating. And you could be like, man, you're a cheater. Like, I didn't get caught. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
how are you viewing me?
Yeah, but if you're telling, peer review, right? Okay, but I'm saying it as in you've been found out.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're telling a peer, and you trust me enough to tell me that, I'm probably gonna be like, yo, share.
I think you have to.
Like, what are you doing? Who you holding out on? Like, if I'm that way, but we talking about you being found out. If you haven't been found out, then you're not cheating because you haven't been found out as a cheater. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, you know what I'm saying?
Did it make a noise?
So, boom.
Okay, so.
Boom. Go ahead.
So I think once you get that type of label, your actions is going to say if you're still that person. And it depends on who's viewing you, how long it takes before they say, okay, he figured it out.
Right.
Or, you know, if let's say if I cheated on my girlfriend in high school and I cheated on a girl in high school, and then college I cheated on somebody, and then I become an adult and I cheated on somebody. And it was like, man, you cheated in high school, college, and now you're an adult.
Right.
And it was like, but I don't cheat anymore.
Right.
I need a period of time to show that you learn from these mistakes. But how long does it take for it to not follow you?
And that answer can be different for
whoever's looking.
Every amount of people that you can meet, that answer can be
because
different.
Some people's like, oh shit, once a cheater, you're always
a cheater. And that's what I mean. So like, and that's what I'm talking about. So absolute acts with these permanent labels. So that's the thing. So like, are we that hard on ourselves? Because do we not allow a person a chance for or opportunity for redemption? Right? I mean, there has to be growth.
It
right?
Does.
And I get it. There are some people who are like, once a person does this, I ain't messing with them. Once a person says that, I ain't fucking, like, whatever.
You're right. You're right.
So, but like, how do we, or are we even supposed to get past that? Are we supposed to get past somebody doing something? Because you'll hear this in the term of dating all the time. Deal breakers.
Yeah.
Right? And the woman is like, oh, nope. If you're a cheater, I ain't messing with you. So the only thing you can do, if you really want to be with her, is lie your ass off.
You're going to have to.
No, baby, I ain't never cheated on nobody. Like, I don't even I've only picked one hand to touch myself with. I don't even use the other one. That's wrong. Like it's so I don't even know how that works.
I think it depends on people's experiences before they can, like if you grew up in a household where cheating occurred and it destroyed the family,
right? You're
gonna have a different perspective from somebody.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it just depends on who's participating.
So should there be some type of standard or law that's put out there? I'm being crazy with this, but I'm just saying, but like, should there be something put in place where there is, for lack of better words, a measuring stick?
Well, I can't.
You know what I mean? To be able to say, well, look, you cheated twice. You didn't hit the third one. I mean, do we make it like baseball? Third and you out or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
What if you were married for 40 years and you cheated like, in the first 2 years and then at the 10-year mark and then maybe at the 17-year mark, but you got the 40.
But this is what I mean. Is there a measuring stick? So like you may have it where, I don't know, like, the video games, right? Where you get hit by the thing or whatever and then you lose some energy, but it's all the way down to the red and you're not dead yet. But if you go so long without being hit again, it builds back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there something like,
I think cheating's perspective too, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes.
If I know that certain relationships, it was like, but did you have sex with her?
Well, dang, I was talking about classroom, but go ahead.
You were talking about what?
I was talking about classrooms, but go ahead.
You were talking about classrooms?
Yeah, I was saying in school, if they cheat at school. And then I
thought we were talking about relationships.
It's okay. Yeah. No, I'm saying it started out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was a different form of cheating.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if
you say you in a relationship.
So if you're in a relationship and you
say if you didn't have sex
with her.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have sex with her. Like, what did you do? We kissed. Oh, okay, that's okay. Right. You don't kiss her. I don't like that. That's a form of cheating. Okay, I didn't kiss her. So what did you do? We went out to eat. I don't want you going out to eat with nobody because that could be a form of cheating. Like, so cheating
to that person, right?
The cheating that we're used to seeing is like physical contact, but the cheating, it's all kinds of cheating. Like, if I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm at work and I come home, my wife doesn't come home and she stays at work late, and I notice that she's staying work late every day, and I said I'm gonna go surprise her. And I surprised her. She's really at work, but she's in the classroom grading papers with a man. And I'm like, this is why you staying at work? Like, what are you doing? Like, is the conversation you're not getting at home? You can't grade papers at home. So it's depending, like, how I'm looking at it now. Like, you taking my time away from me. So that's a form of cheating. So it just depends perspective.
Right. And a lot of people will look at it too as, I guess I would be this person. There's different types, especially if we're talking about the emotional side. You know what I mean? So not that, I don't know, that's kind of difficult, but there is an emotional piece. And this is, I think women will probably relate to this more because if a guy is caught cheating, right? Usually if we're talking about movies and stuff, it's not, I haven't had this firsthand like that, but if a guy's caught cheating, usually in the movies, the first thing that the woman says is, "Did you love her?" You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's one of those, like, the emotional tie to it, and then maybe they feel like it's a lost cause because they may look at it like, oh, it was just a physical act. It was just physical. I've been working late. I've been this. I've been that. I'm not excusing you cheating, but at least you weren't emotionally attached or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe, but. Some people may look at it and say like, oh, well, you were messaging your ex. That's cheating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just all perspective on what's crossing the line.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know if we should go into that conversation because I ain't trying to give like advice in this episode, but I think it's more like if you're in a relationship, you probably just need to define what that is early on.
So, but that's,
what I mean? So
I totally get it.
Right.
But sometimes I'm just going to kind of bar this topic with what happened with what's going on with my family. Like if you are in a relationship and you want to be prepared for things. Right. So like with my son and my daughter, I want them to be prepared for everything, but you don't think of everything until an event comes up.
Right.
Like you just, you know, you're just like, oh, I didn't think of that. Like you can't think of everything because it's not enough. Like something that you can only tell what goes on in your experiences. Right. So when you approach a situation that you never thought about, and you're like, oh, I have to teach my kid this. So you got to take everybody else's experience and try to put it in yours. So when you said you got to set this line in the beginning, there's so many things that you can't cover because you just haven't thought about or experienced before to think about it.
Now this I can say from my personal experience, like something that has worked from my experience is if you feel in talking to the other person, if you feel like you would not appreciate if I did whatever that is, then you probably shouldn't or we should talk about it before. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's still perspective though.
But that's only part of it. And then the other one is if you're unsure, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it, right? Like run this by me. If it's involving anything related to, let's say, another man, right? Well, let's talk about it. I'm not saying that that's how I am going to feel, right? But if there is anything along those lines or whatever, let's talk about it. Are you still going to be friends with your ex? Are y'all going to be hanging out, going to go have lunch? Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be as simple as, how would you feel if I went to go have lunch with my ex?
What if the person texts you and said, hey, how are you doing? How's the family? It's like, what is she texting you for? She just, I guess how I was doing in my family. Like, it's like, I don't want you, like, you don't know.
Right. But I'm not saying that you do or that you would know everything. I'm just saying until you get to learn one another. Yeah. You put everything on the table.
But but that's what I'm saying. You don't, like, you got things in your pocket that you just don't think about.
Right. No, but hear what I said though. Like I said, like, for example, if we're talking about the ex-boyfriends or the ex-girlfriends, right? Or the friendships with the opposite sex and to like what levels those are supposed to be. You're right. You're not going to know everything, right? Because some person could say, well, yeah, you can, I'm just being stupid. This is not my, but somebody said, yeah, okay, you can go have drinks with somebody from the opposite sex as long as it's before the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? If it's after the sun drop, if it's after the street light come on, call me and let's talk about it first, you know, or whatever the case. So I don't know because that's not my, but whatever it is, like those parameters probably need to be set.
If I say, I go out to lunch with a female friend, and in my head, I don't have a problem with my wife going out. So and that's my perspective. And if I go out with a female friend and she's like, why are you going to lunch with another woman? I'm like, don't you go to lunch? No, I don't do that. So you don't think about those things.
But I think that in an effort to try and prevent such issues, it is a conversation or conversations to be had. And the topic of that whole phase of conversation or different phases of conversations would be, I'm in a relationship with you, you're in a relationship with me. What are we comfortable with when it comes to interacting with the opposite sex? Yeah. Is it even an issue? Are we just cool with whatever as long as we're being faithful, right?
What about hugging?
But I'm saying I don't ask me.
No, I'm asking you like just something as simple as that you don't think about.
But that's a conversation that the two people, I mean, if it means that much, it's no different than somebody smoking, somebody drinking too much, somebody going out to the club all the time, somebody going to go summer vacation with their girlfriends and leaving you behind, or their boyfriends and leaving you, whatever, right? Guy friends, whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, if it's that important to you, then talk about it in the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. You can't cover all. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But okay. But when we're talking about, if it is about somebody, let's say of the opposite sex, right? It can be said in the beginning. That's what I'm saying.
Like what?
It can be said in the beginning. whatever it is related to somebody or friendship,
Oh,
whatever.
you just making a
blank. Exactly. I said this.
I know that's way too difficult.
Right, but this is how you're going to get to know the person.
Yeah.
This is you do this. You would do the same thing about anything else. What are you allergic to? You know what? I don't know. Okay, well, guess what? Every time I cook, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, babe, I got this. I put tomatoes in it. I put broccoli in it. I put this in it." And it's like, well, I've never had broccoli before. If I eat it and my face look funny, we know we're not having that again. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Right. So in the beginning, it's not walking
So you just go hard in the beginning.
Not go hard, but you just open it up to where, look, everything is on the table to be talked about because I just met you. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you feel disrespected by. I don't know what you need. I don't know all of these things. So it's one of those positions where it's like, I don't want to be considered a cheater or a man that's disrespectful or a man that's looking like he don't appreciate you or that he's going to share his time with other women when you are the one that wants that time. You see what I'm saying? And now if it's something that needs to be done, then y'all have that conversation as in like, oh, well, me and so-and-so female used to always go and have drinks or whatever after work on Wednesday because that's happy hour and that's what we did or whatever. And then she's like, well, you're in a relationship with me now. Take me with you. Or I don't want you going with that bitch. Or no, come home and I'll make drinks here. You know, I'm a bartender on the side. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you just got to have this blanket of we got to talk about it because it's in the get to know you phase. Now, 8-9 years down the road, even maybe 3 years down the road, if you still doing certain things and y'all ain't talked about it, that doesn't even mean that the person is bad. It just means that you probably haven't communicated about this. Yeah. But if it's something that means that much to you, for example, I could not mess with a smoker. Sorry. But I couldn't do it. I don't like to kiss my woman and smell smoke. I don't like to smell it in your hair. It's going to be in your clothes. It's going to be in your fingertips. It's going to be in the clothes. It's going to be in the car, etc.
Do you have a talk about somebody?
Like, hell yeah. About smoking?
Yeah, I've never had a smoke.
I only have one deal breaker, and that's smoking.
Really?
One deal breaker.
I have a few deal breakers.
I mean, there's things to be talked about because I'm not gonna come in and just be like, all right, here's the hammer.
I got you.
Why? You know, because.
But I've never had a conversation about smoking.
Oh, I have, but you know what I'm saying. But you owned a cigar shop.
Yeah,
like, doesn't bother you.
No,
you know
no. Oh
like,
no, I can't stand cigarette smoke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cancerous.
I can't stand none of it though.
But I'm saying, before I started smoking cigars, I hated smoke. Period. Right, even cigars. Yeah. But I never talked to. I remember even being in a club. Like you smell cigarette smoke away. I'm like, man, it smells like cigarettes. And then you see a woman that smoke a cigarette. You be like, well. She's off the list. You know, she's no longer important. But I'm saying I've met women that had no idea that they smoke years later, and they said that they smoke.
Oh no, I can tell. I'm a
Well, I lived with my mother smoked cigarettes, and that's probably why I hate it so much. But I'm telling you that she's like, no, I smoke a cigarette like once a month. You know, so again, she still smokes a cigarette,
right?
But I would have never known until that incident happened that she's.
But you smoke too. You smoke cigars.
Yeah.
Right? For a non-smoker,
yeah,
we're like bloodhounds.
So I'm telling you, before I started smoking cigars.
Okay. Well, like you might want to go get your nostrils checked. Because bro, my stuff.
There's no way. Look, I'm telling you this. If a person smoked once a month.
Yeah.
And you don't see that person, you wouldn't know that they smoked a cigarette.
Well, if they smoke once a month and I don't see that person, then
but I'm saying,
what are we talking about?
No, I'm saying if you're dating a person over a course of time and she never smokes in front of you, she only smokes when she's stressed, but when she's around you, she's not stressed. So she smokes a cigarette at work because she's had a bad day. You don't see her that day and whatever. So over the course of months, you decide to surprise her and she's outside like this. And you like, oh my God.
You do that real good. You do that real good.
I don't. Look, you know what? I smoked a cigarette. I'm telling you. I took a puff of a cigarette because my friends were doing it. Because they said, like, you know, when they smoked weed, it continued to high and whatnot. And it was the filthiest taste ever.
You see the look on your face that you just made? Do that times 10 with me. I'm telling you, bro. Maybe I just got like some hypersensitive taste buds or nostrils or whatever, but I know.
Is she a cheater? Is she a cheater if
she smokes?
If a habit comes back. She stopped. Oh, yeah. She no longer smokes anymore. And then
it comes back. I had that.
So
I had that. I had that.
Is she a smoker?
She's no longer mine, so I don't.
No, I'm saying, like if you don't, let's say she never smoked, right? And then she just got stressed out and she started smoking. Like, is she a smoker? Like, is that, you know what I'm saying? Is she still getting labeled as a smoker?
Oh, in the world of Omega, yes.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, you're right. Yeah. This is dang, yeah. Yeah, in my world, yes. I'm not kissing you. I'm not this, no. Nothing.
Yeah. My wife don't smoke.
I just can't. I can't do it. You know what I mean?
What even shisha?
I don't really have okay, let me just say this. One, I'm not on some crusade to like have people be healthy and not smoke.
You don't sound like that.
Like I could care less.
It's just your preference.
Smoke until they're black and they start to turn brittle and fall off, like your lungs. Like it doesn't have nothing to do with me. I'm being completely selfish.
What if a woman?
I'm being completely selfish.
Yeah.
I don't like the smell.
Even shisha?
That's what I was about to say. So in response, with shisha, it's like it's usually smells like something fruity, pineapple, whatever. Not a big, whatever. I don't know. I've never really been with somebody that smokes shisha. So
I know, but you know the smell.
But it wouldn't turn me away till I'm like, oh no, you put them lips over there, girl. What you doing? So it's not like that. But yeah, I don't have an issue. But there's not gonna be a shisha pipe. Yeah, it's not gonna be one of them in my home. You're not gonna be bringing it to the house and doing it. You take your ass outside, go smoke somewhere away.
So just to give you an idea, like smoking shisha in the house,
right?
It smells good.
Yeah,
and when it leaves, it's fast. You'll smoke smoking shisha in the house for an hour.
Right.
Hour later, you never know the shisha was in the house.
I don't know, man. There's a such thing as third hand smoke. So, no, seriously.
Third hand
smoke.
What is that?
Third hand smoke. So second hand smoke is obviously if I'm smoking and then
I catch a contact.
And I blow and then you catch it, right? Third hand smoke is you have carpet.
Yeah.
You have paint. It gets into the carpet. It gets into the paint, and it has to be cleaned out. I remember when I moved into an apartment in Hawaii. It was ready to be moved in on whatever day it was. Yeah. And then the people contacted me and was like, oh, we're going to need an extra 3 days or whatever it was, right? We're going to need extra days because we need to clean it because we found when we did the inspection from the previous person that they were smokers and they weren't supposed to smoke in that apartment. And they were like, and now it's in the carpet, it's in the paint, it's whatever. So they had to go and strip all the paint. They replaced the carpet. And, they were nice. They put me in a hotel because I was expected to move in, right? And so that's it. But they said it was due to third hand smoke. I had never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's wild.
But third hand smoke. So
but they were probably smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. But
I'm saying with the shisha.
But the thing is that shisha is like the worst. Shisha is worse than cigarettes. There's no filter. So that tobacco, I believe over time, no,
because it's not addictive. Like
there's no filter.
Listen what I'm saying. No. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's a pure form of tobacco. Like cigars. Cigars is you don't even inhale cigars. Just to let you know, if you don't know. But cigarettes have an addictive. Well, in America, because in America, cigarettes are very addictive. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that. But, do you remember when they used to be commercials all over about cigarettes and then they banned it? And
Surgeon General.
Yeah, you see Camel cigarette commercials or Marlboro.
Yeah.
But I think that in America, whatever they were putting into the cigarettes, it caught people really can't stop smoking.
Like Coca-Cola with the cocaine. But allegedly, I don't know. Is that true? Is that an urban legend? They put cocaine in Coca-Cola
in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Oh yeah.
That was real, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I didn't want Coca-Cola to come after me. You false.
That would be great press.
Allegedly,
that would be great press. Come on, Coke. No, but So cigarettes, I'm saying shisha is not addictive. How about this? I smoked shisha probably a year and a half straight.
Okay, but I'm not talking about addictive. I'm talking about damaging.
So
with no filter, this is straight boom.
And to me, I feel like smoking is really big in Indonesia. Did you know that? Like they have baby smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
Because they said it's supposed to like stop cancer or something or whatnot. But there's no studies that show that people are dying from smoking cigarettes in Indonesia versus the United States.
Okay.
So when you say it's bad for you, like, what do you mean bad?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it, and forgive my ignorance, but I'm thinking about it as somebody is smoking shisha. Mm-hmm. Shisha is unfiltered tobacco.
Yeah.
Right? It smells good. Therefore, if somebody is sensitive to the strong cigarette smoke, they can't mess with a Marlboro or a Newport. They need a Virginia Slim.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Right? So they're taking in the shisha, and the shisha smells good. It feels easy. You got the water bubbles, whatever, and they doing their thing. And they're taking in that tobacco straight with no filter versus somebody that can easily or more easily recognize it with a cigarette because
the
strong taste, the smell, and so they take it in, they get it, and they push it out. Whereas the shisha, they just sit there all night sucking on this thing.
But shisha's been around from the beginning of time.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying. So if it was that bad, I think we would have some type of study on it because the Middle East have had shisha pipes. I remember seeing like.
But maybe there are things that they haven't found. I don't know. I mean,
no, look, I'm just saying it's been enough time period for us to be able to find like.
But this is a region where even if it was bad, they'll be like,
well, they didn't do that to cigarettes. Okay. Cigarettes is on the label, and they banned the commercials in America. Like people die from smoke, lung cancer, and any other.
Maybe it is on the tobacco boxes.
It is.
So the tobacco boxes for the shisha.
It is.
Right. So when you get shisha, all you get is the nice I Dream a Genie lamp with the hose coming out of it, and the tobacco was taken out in the back and put on there with the coals. So you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not in your face. When you buy cigarettes, you got this box, and it's there. Surgeon General warning. This will kill you.
On the shisha thing too.
But the shisha, I'm saying, when they go to the restaurants, they don't come out there with the whole box of the shisha and be like, "This is the one that we're going to give you with the pineapple," right?
Because you already know, though,
right? But you think these people know? You think these youngsters know when they be going to go get the shisha in the club? Nobody's thinking about that.
Well, I think anybody that inhales smoke got to know there's some type of harm.
I've heard people say just the opposite. Just the opposite. No, it's fine. Shisha's different. It's not like cigarettes. Go ahead and die. Like,
I don't know. See, the reason why I said it's been around for so long that it seemed like we would have some type of study from shisha. Shisha studies started coming up like in the last 10 years in America because it kind of got popular.
Right.
But it's been around forever. So just like cannabis, sativa, like it comes from the earth, right? And I'm saying that what was killing people was the stuff that they were putting in the different tobacco products. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So when you say, you're making your lungs black and all of this, I think you're comparing from what we've seen because shisha was not around in America as popular as it is.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Yeah, come on.
Do you think that smoking shisha is good for you? See what I'm saying?
Okay, because like I want to answer the question in a way that it doesn't put me in a corner, but to open it up.
Right.
So I think that too much of anything's bad. So I believe that if you can use something to calm you down versus being stressed out,
right?
Like and that is your outlet,
right?
As long as it doesn't become a habit where it's eating up your body, I don't think it's bad.
Okay, I'm with you, and I'll just give you one thing to like just ponder, and we can press. But
for sure,
the way that you say that shisha hasn't been studied, right?
Yeah,
and there's been no proven whatever. There's been no comparisons to
until recently in America,
right? Until recently in America, but most likely like over here in this region, right? This part of the world, it's kind of like, this is the free for all, right?
Correct.
In that, I liken shisha to milk in the U.S. For the longest time, nobody ever studied milk and said drinking milk is bad for you. That milk is this and milk. Nobody ever. Right? Until recently.
No, in the 80s.
Until recently. Recently, they were like, you know what? Milk does not do a body good.
Yeah.
Recently. So just because they haven't produced studies.
I think that was capitalism, though.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
They was just getting,
I mean, that's above me. That's above me.
they just getting money.
What about thieves? If you steal
Somebody's heart.
you're caught. Oh my God, this guy. If you steal, are you always a thief?
No,
Yeah.
because no, because I know people that stole cars in middle school.
Okay.
And they don't carry that character. I didn't look at them like that. And when I saw them, it didn't look like, they didn't talk about stories. Look what I got over on, like.
So is it the intent behind it? Oh, we were just joyriding. We were just kids. Is that a part of what it is, or?
Yeah, I think a thief is a person that consistently does it.
No.
So if I steal a soda out of the soda machine, I'm a thief?
They press charges and you're caught up. Yes.
No, I get it, but I'm saying, like, if I don't do it again, am I a thief?
Oh, I mean, if you don't do it again, I mean, I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. If you steal a car,
right,
you're more likely to be labeled a thief versus stealing a soda.
I don't know, because it depends on where you are. Because if you grew up somewhere like, I don't know,
New
Beverly
Jersey?
Hills, well, I was on the other side. But if you go somewhere like Beverly Hills, Orange County, and you stole a car, they're like, he's just joyriding, smack on the hand. But if you do it in New Jersey, then you pretending like you're in, I don't know, the movie New Jersey Drive or Ronin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like then it's different. So I think that also depends on like the climate, that you're in. All right, last one though. Actually, kind of two together. What about somebody who makes comments that can be believed to be or misconstrued or understood as or interpreted as homophobic?
Well, I think that's like racism.
Okay.
Like, I believe when you get more information, I still say jokes every once in a while, but I'm far from homophobic. But somebody could look at me as being homophobic because I still say the jokes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I look, like I think we had another episode where in middle school, we was like, man, that's gay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as you get older and you like, you shouldn't say that because it's disrespectful to whoever you're offending.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I believe that they cannot be homophobic. Like it can like, check this out.
Do you think that the jokes should not be said? I mean, I know you said
no. I think everybody should be talked about.
Thank you. I say
everybody should.
I'm like, yo, that's the highest form of flattery. Yeah. Like that's acceptance. Yeah. We talk about our family members. Yo, you think you're excluded? Are you serious?
I don't think you should talk about somebody where it can impact them. Like if I say something to you that's offensive, but I didn't know it,
right? And
I did it again. Like now it's kind of like,
but that's on the lines of that's just disrespectful. If somebody tells you that it's,
that's what I'm saying. So like, if I'm not a comedian and I just like to go around, oh, look at that gay person over there.
It's so funny you say that because I was just about to ask you, do comedians get a pass?
They should.
Do comedians get a pass? Do movies get a pass? Because a movie is supposed to be a portrayal of reality in some sense. So is somebody going to receive backlash because they've now written this into the script and they've now treated this particular character this way? Because in this sensitive world that we're in, some people are looking at this saying, but this is perpetuating the idea of mistreatment towards a person of this particular background or this way of life or whatever, which I understand. But should they get a pass? Movie scripts, TV shows, comedians.
I feel like as long as like their job is to entertain.
Okay.
If the majority of the population was homosexual and they did heterosexual jokes, like they're just making fun of what they see.
Question. You said that their job is to entertain.
Correct.
Okay. Diverse clarity is not yet international.
Correct.
Right?
Well, we are international.
Well, okay. We're not. I guess we. Yeah, I guess we are.
We out here in these streets.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we're not world renowned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not world renowned. This is what I meant to say. We're not world renowned. So we're not the Breakfast Club. We're not Hot 97 radio show in the morning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? We're not Jesus and Mero. We're not these guys yet.
Correct.
Okay. Does that exclude us from entertaining in that way. Because if a movie is allowed to do it, and a TV show is allowed to do it, and a comedian, and we're talking famous people, are allowed to do it, and we say, oh no, they get a pass because they're entertaining.
Yes.
They're doing this. Should you and I be allowed to do it if we make a low budget movie that we produce ourselves? Do we not get a pass because we're not on that level yet?
No.
Does Diverse Clarity not get a pass because we're not on that level yet?
We do. We do get we get the pass. But I think that our intent is different. You know what I'm saying? Like
well, I'm saying if it's to entertain, like you said.
That's what I'm saying. Right. We want to entertain within a different intent. Like there's comedians that don't do any homosexual jokes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there are other comedians, like just another podcast, they do it. Like we could do it if we want, but that's not what we want to do. Right. We want to inform. So I think it's different genres of information or entertainment. And ours is the entertainment with hopefully we can make you laugh while uplifting you with some new information. So I do believe, like, if you and I decided to bash homosexuals, I mean, like, we could do it, but it would have to make sense. But that's not our intent. We don't want to, that's not our lane. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're in a specific lane. But yes, we are in that population of people that can entertain.
Okay.
You don't think
Fair
so?
enough. No, I do.
No, I'm asking because I know you asking me, so I want to know your opinion.
Yeah, I do. I feel I just like to be careful with labels because somebody may look at it and say, "Oh, well, I'm not world renowned or I'm not international. I'm just a local whatever. I don't have the right to do such a thing." But you do. Mm-hmm. You start somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what happens is it all kind of boils down to the intent.
Definitely.
And you know, actually caring for people. You know,
that's it.
And thinking about it in that way. I mean, we all got a lot of growing to do. We definitely do. You know what I'm saying? So, but listen, y'all, we appreciate y'all, you know, copping a seat or driving to work and listening to us, or driving home from work, or putting us on in the Bluetooth radio while you was taking a shower or whatever.
I really want to know your thoughts on same topic.
What's that?
If you had a entertaining young life where you participated in adult activities, somebody who is, what is it called when you're when you have sex with multiple people? No, I'm saying like it's like somebody who just does it. They you know, not
swingers.
No, I'm talking about, like, I can't think of the word.
Gigolo.
No, it's a nicer word.
Escort.
No, it's a nice word.
Escort is a nice word.
No, it's I cannot think of the word. But anyways, women get this label, and
a hoe?
No, it's a nice word. when you just open to have sex with other people. Not a swinger.
A nympho?
No, that's somebody who has sex a lot or needs sex a lot.
Sounds like that's what you're explaining.
I'll come up with it. But I'm saying that label of, like, just in middle.
Promiscuous.
There it goes.
Hi, I'm Joe Rogan, and this is Kanye West.
Yeah. Look, you was naming all the negative.
I was like, where is he going with this? And why do I have to answer it?
So in middle school, like, I remember a girl holding a guy's hand or something, and they kissing. Oh, they're a hoe.
Okay.
And they weren't doing anything, but the young lady carries this title because of the perception of what people think. Like, so now you're an adult. Look, there's this young lady that had a promiscuous lifestyle in college. And then she got married and she's happy with kids. And you see guys were like, dang, they married that? I'm like, dang, she's still carrying this title. Like, college supposed to be the best years of your life. And now y'all done labeled her this, like, she can't grow. So, like, when is it okay to let the title go?
I think they need to grow up, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just think they need to grow up. Like, this also falls into the category of protecting our women, right? Because every woman is somebody's daughter, right? And not to sound like cliche,
no, that's right.
But I'm just saying, but like, every woman is somebody's daughter, right? So she has a life to live, and it almost, if I go deeper in this, right, it's like what if she had several relationships? And let's just say the number is 10, right? And you've got a guy that hasn't been with 10 women, right? He's been with 3. And now that's relationship number 4 for him and relationship number 11. Well, she might have got dogged out.
That's what I was about to say.
You
Women,
know what I mean? So she might have got dogged out. She was intimate with the person and this and this. So then he sit down, he have a conversation with her. She might not have only had sex with those 10 dudes. It might have been 5 more or 6 more. So when you have this conversation, if they go in and they start talking about, hey, babe, what's your body count? And she's like, 16. You know what I mean? And he's like, dang. Wow.
No, 16. That's the dog. Like,
wow, you was talking about the college life, so I was trying to like
16's low.
Yeah,
that's really low. Like, if a woman told me, well, you know what? I gotta back off of that one because you know what? In my mind, like growing through like high school, college, and then to adult life. Like, I just automatically assumed that women were doing these things. But I know that if a woman had sex with me, I know that I wasn't the first one. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care about body counts. I never cared about body counts because to me, like, she just ran into a bunch of bums.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up being a bum. Look, until I got married.
I mean, I look at it like this, bro. I mean, if you are somebody that's worried about body counts, I can understand where they're coming from. I'm not agreeing with it. But the important thing is if she's with you and the counting stops, bottom line.
Period.
So that's what it is. So I'm not with it. I'm not into shaming women when it comes to that. I'm not into shaming men.
And you know what? Men should be shamed because they make it as a badge of honor.
Bruh. And that's something that there's nobody out there that knows me. No man that can ever say that he and I have sat down and like talked about what I've done in my life or whatever. Like I don't have like those kind of conversations like that. You know, actually there's one guy that I can think of. You know what I mean? But that was my guy. Like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even on no level like that. We was living in the same area. Like we knew. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was whatever. And even then I was only with one person. You know? So it's just like, come on, you know?
I got you.
But no, I don't think that should be. Like I said, the important thing is if you worried about your woman's body count, as long as that body count stop and when she's committed to you,
that's all that matters.
That's it, bro. Like love her and cherish her, man. That's your woman.
I think it's insecurity with men.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, men have small, low self-esteem and big egos. So in that area, bro, it's a sensitive topic for some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I say study hard, and when it's time for game, you get in and you make her forget the body count. You know what I mean? Like it's not, whatever. So no, stop shaming women. Stop shaming women if that's what you're doing. Yeah, man. So leave it be.
Definitely. Yeah.
We good?
Sure. Yeah. I just wanted to hear that.
This dude. Wow.
You had all the topics. So I was like, let me throw this one in. Yeah. Oh, different pieces.
I got you. But look, like I said in the beginning, we make sure you go out there and you celebrate. You throw some meat on the grill or whatever for the 19th of June.
Vegetables for the people that don't eat meat.
For sure. The emancipation of the enslaved people of the United States. So it is the true independence when slavery was done, when the word finally got to Galveston, Texas.
Finally.
Right? So, I mean, just I would just say this, man. Like people think, right? Black lives not only matter, they should be valued. And if you don't value life, then you can take a life. So I don't know. Think about that. And when it comes to the topic of the day, right, when we're talking about all of these things, these absolute acts and these permanent labels, I'm not even gonna say everybody deserves a second chance. Forget that. I think that's played out. That's cliche. Forget that. Everybody deserves a chance for growth. And the only way that we are going to grow and become better is to learn by our mistakes. And if you're not out there living, if you're not out there making mistakes, giving yourself the opportunity to grow, then you're stagnant.
Yeah.
And you're going to be less productive. And I don't know, man. That's just not the way that I want to live.
Yeah, not at all.
So, but yeah, don't come throwing my past or my last week at me because I'm getting better every single day. And if you're not, then you got some recalibrating to do. Yeah?
For sure.
All right. He is John D. I'm Omega, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next episode.
Boom.